Well, hello and welcome people of the internet to None Shall Intrude, a new roguelite deck builder that just dropped on the Steam page as a demo, I think today, or not when you guys are watching it today, but for me, I think it was only like a couple hours ago. I noticed the post on Reddit from the developer, and so we want to check this out because I think it looks pretty sweet overall. There are definitely some things that I have some gripes with. Unfortunately, I have recorded this video twice now, this being the third time. First time, my hard drive ran out of space halfway through recording, and then of course I kept recording for an additional half hour, needed to re-record that, and then the second time I recorded, file corrupted. So can we say this one's cursed? Guys, drop me a like so that way I feel a little bit better about recording this one. But anyway, None Shall Intrude. We are going to be playing this giant red dragon boss. We're going to be incinerating enemies and using some elements and some tile mechanics to help dispatch the heroes as they try to invade our land. Now, if you're looking for the full version of the game and what's going to be included, down here you can read all that, pause and read that as you like. If you'd like to check out the demo for yourself, a link will of course be down below in the description, but I do encourage you to stick around and check out the video before doing so yourself. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop in. Before we do though, take note of the music that's going on right now. It's something we're going to talk about a little bit later. The other note, if you are a headphones user, just a heads up, the music, or actually all sound effects, are 100%ed when you first jump in. It's loud. So just a heads up if you do download the game, maybe have your headphones off until you adjust those audio settings. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. We're going to be playing a new game here because, yeah, obviously my old game, not really going to be doing anything with. Now, this talent tree you will not see when you first hop into the game. This is only available to you after you do one complete run or you die in your first run, whatever. The first node that you'll unlock unlocks Rage Mechanic, which we'll take a look at. I haven't even looked at the other tier, so we're not going to do that yet. We're going to hold on to that and check it out later, potentially, or you guys need to check out the demo for yourself to check those out, but I'm going to hold it for a little surprise for myself. Let's go ahead and start. Now, when we jump into the game, here's what the map looks like. We have 100 health to start. We also start with 100 gold. We have a couple menus up here. We have what talents we have available. We can see our deck, and let's talk about cards here first, because I've messed this up in both recordings. There is a turn meter, or a turn counter. You have 60 seconds per turn, and I've tried to explain cards in the first turn every time, and I run out of time. So let's do it here. Cards have an action point system. You have 3 action points per your turn. This is the range. The board is set up in tiles, so this is how many tiles you're going to be attacking. For example, this is going to attack 2 tiles in a horizontal pattern. The card has different types. So we have an attack type, we have an elemental type, we have skill types. They have an element, and the element is what's going to be applied to the board, which we'll take a look at once we enter the first match, what the card does. So you can see here, for example, Fire Breath is going to do damage in 5 squares in a V pattern, or a 90-degree turned V pattern. We also have an inhale exhale mechanic. So if you're used to, or if you've played Slay the Spire before, this is essentially like the Wanderer's ability to go from, what is it, calm and rage. So basically you inhale, which is free, and then it's going to double the damage of Fire Breath. As far as I've seen so far, and I've played 2 times now, this is the only instance of inhale or exhale I've seen, so I don't know if there's other cards that lean into this mechanic, but for the time being, that's all we really have. We also have Whirlwind, which is just a free apply wind, and we have Avalanche, which is 1 apply earth. Earth is a little bit more powerful in terms of damage, which is why it costs 1 over the Whirlwind, which is free. It also applies to 2 different spaces. We also have our tile effects. Now, this is really the meat of the game. There is, of course, the deck building aspect, but most of the gameplay is going to be around these tile and tile effects. So the way that this works is you have basically, so you have the 3 elements. So for example, if you were to fireball, which applies fire to a space, you're going to just apply fire to a space. If you do it twice, so if you do, or it's going to leave a charred soil effect, I should say. If you apply fire to this charred soil, you're going to have lava, which that lava tile is going to deal 3 damage at the end of the turn. Likewise, if you apply wind to a tile and then you use fire on it, it will then remove that element from that tile and apply fire or apply this charged soil to the 4 adjacent tiles. And each combination has that. You can also double up. So lava, tornado, and boulder here, this is 2 fire tiles. This is 2 wind tiles. You just use the little cross here. And likewise, this is 2 earth tiles. So there's a bunch of different combinations here. We have some AoE damage, a little bit more AoE damage. We have just straight 10 damage to the unit that's on top of it. We have more AP gain, so more action point gain. We have more rage gain, stuff like that. Now, for the map itself, we have different regions here. The way this basically works is right now we have 3 different enemies that we can go up against. These are the hero characters. Hero characters have a little bit more HP than typical enemies. Typical enemies, we're going to jump in right here. But typical enemies have like anywhere from 4 to 10 HP. So this is the map. It's broken up into an isometric grid. And we have our enemy. The enemy is going to be using this card during their turn. So let's go ahead. I'm going to fireball here twice to build up a little bit of lava. Now I could just leave this here to do 3 damage at the end of the turn, but I'm going to apply earth here. Earth and lava is going to deal 10 damage. I believe, no, that's fire. That's fire and lava. This is going to deal 4 damage. Yeah, it's going to do the cross and 4 damage. Okay, so I'm going to set up a whirlwind here and build up a tornado, and then we're going to pass the turn. So they're going to move. You can also click on the characters to see what they're going to do. So, for example, the tornado here, if we were... So this is going to push the enemy by 1 tile to a random direction at the end of the turn. But if we applied wind to this, it moves every enemy on the screen back 1 tile. Now, we can see that this scoundrel here has a range of 2 and a move speed of 2. So they're going to be moving 2 tiles on each of their turns. This turn, they're going to be dealing 20 damage to the boss. If the boss has any armor, deal 0 damage. So we need to gain some armor here. Now, to gain armor, we need to get boulders. So we need to get earth and earth. Now, we do have an earth tile here. Unfortunately, we don't have any earth cards. So we're going to be taking 20 damage. So let's go ahead and inhale here first. Now, I think what we're going to do... We might as well do the fire breath. Now, unfortunately, the fire and tornado is just going to do 2 damage to everybody. So it's going to turn into 8 damage and then eat up this tile. You're going to move 2 tiles here. So I think what I'm going to do... Yeah, unfortunately, I can't fireball you. I'm just going to whirlwind here, because what might happen is I might get another whirlwind card, and I can push this fire tile over to here. And we do have that. So let me go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and avalanche here, which is going to deal 10 damage to her. We do have this poison curse card, which she put in our deck, which is, if it's in our hand, it's going to deal us 10 damage. We're going to get rid of that. Then let's go ahead and fireball here for a little bit of damage. Now, we are gaining rage here. You can see down here in the bottom left here. We do have our action points here. I should talk about the UI a little bit. 3 action points. We're in phase 1, which I'll go over a little bit later. We also have rage. So rage is an active ability that our current rage deals 5 damage to all heroes and all other enemies. For every action point spent... Let's see. For every action point spent, we're going to gain 5 rage. So here I'm going to use Whirlwind on this lava tile. This is going to give me an extra action point, and I can get rid of the curse. Now, unfortunately, I am going to be taking 20 damage here. Rage is, or at least our rage ability that we currently have, is not super strong in a 1v1 situation like we're in right now. It is pretty good when there's a bunch of enemies. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Build an AP, get rid of that. And we get rid of the enemy. We'll go over phases in the next fight. So we collect our loot. We're going to get a card here. Ooh, Pyroblast is pretty good. I think I'm going to end up taking that. Now, I do have Sandworm here that would allow me to get some armor. That is pretty good. I think I might actually go with that over the Pyroblast. I want some more ways to apply Earth. Earth is overall pretty good, right? We need double Earth to get armor. Earth and Fire is our 10 damage. So the way the map works is basically we're separated into these different regions. If you clear every area in one specific region, you're going to get a bonus reward. But you can jump around to whatever region you want. Now, the other thing on this map is these 2 counters right down here, which I'm going to be honest, I'm not exactly sure why these are separated. So the way that these work is this meter on the left is going to show how many turns remaining until the Kingdom Hero arrives. The one on the right indicates your threat bar. Each time it moves up, every time you move, you get an additional threat. At 5, heroes will raid you. Now, I think that these might be 2 separate fights. I just don't understand why there's basically 2 separate fights at the same exact interval. In my last playthrough I did get to the raid Again, I think it was just the raid. I want to say that both of these happened at the same time, but the raid was just it was another enemy that we might see here pop up. I'm gonna go ahead here and fight the captain. So I'm assuming that to be the case. Hopefully we can defeat the raid this time. I'm gonna be honest, the raid that I came across was extremely difficult. Now, unfortunately, I don't have an elemental card, so I can't trigger this. Now, there are some tiles, for example, these sand tiles. They basically, in order to get rid of them, right, because this is a soil tile, this is just bare tile, I have to get rid of them in order to do anything on them. So I think what I can do here is if we apply earth here, that gets rid of this. I can fireball here. That's going to do the 10 damage, even though it doesn't show because they don't have 10 health, which gets rid of that character. You're going to gain +1 attack. Yeah, so you're going to be very strong. I got to be a little bit careful around you. That's one thing I've noticed, is that damage stacks up incredibly quickly in this game. Enemies will quite often just completely kind of overpower you if they get up close to you, because over time they build up their stats and they can just like one-shot you. So let's go ahead and 10 this guy. Now, the reason I built up this tornado is to hopefully get more whirlwind cards and push everybody back, because I really don't want this guy getting close to me. And then we can kind of do the same thing here. I'm going to keep forcing my avalanches, which is another reason that I wanted the other earth card, because that's kind of my best way to do single target damage. And you saw I got an armor there because I have boulders down here. Okay, so let's go ahead and push everyone back. We can keep pushing. Actually, I probably shouldn't have pushed everyone back. I actually wanted him on this tile. It's okay. We can go ahead and burn these guys. And actually, we get the extra effect there because the boulder was there. We can set that tile on fire. So tornadoes are really powerful because they can kind of just stay on board and you can kind of use them as crowd control. Now, we are taking a little bit of damage from here. Ultimately, this isn't the worst thing. So the way that the phases work, let's talk about the phases real quick, is that... Actually, before I do that, let's go ahead and do some damage here first. We'll inhale. There we go. So the way phases work is once you drop below 50% HP, you're going to go into phase 2, which is going to give you 1 extra damage to all your attacks. When you go below 25% HP, you're going to deal 2 extra damage per attack. Now, if I'm being honest, I do think that this is underpowered. I don't think that just 2 attack is good enough to benefit you from being under 25% HP. Now, it could just be in my 2 previous runs, I didn't get enough like good cards in order to really make a solid effort run. But I've noticed in my last 2 playthroughs that damage is not really based on whether or not your cards individually are strong. It's more so about getting good tile combinations. And so that being the case, what do I want to go with? I think I'm just going to go with apply wind. I've tried a hatchling before. They're a little weak. So basically, you have to apply fire or earth on them. The problem with that, though, is that if once you apply fire or earth and you apply the other, I guess you could technically put them underneath over a boulder. But the problem is if you can't like force, 10 different fireballs on them, because then you're going to trigger lava and it's going to kill the hatchling. So basically you're looking at 5 attack and they have a range of 6 and they just range attack enemies. So I'm going to go here with Gale Tempest. Just get a little... Yeah, this enemy. Okay, so let's do the random event first, see what we get. As a premonition of future battles emerges, the gods seem to taunt the idea of conspiring against forces of evil. You, embodying these dark forces, sense the manipulation of light and strive to resist. Will you succeed in Defiance? Next combat, you'll have 5 bonus attack. Okay. I guess so. So, Bugaboo here. Very interesting character. 120 health. We might just straight up lose the run here. I'm gonna be honest. This guy has 100 damage. So if he gets to us, we die. So I am really going to have to take care of... Now, the first time I played this, I'm going to be honest. When I played this the first time, I did not understand this at all. I was fighting against this character, and I was like, I don't get it. This guy is stupid good. Why is he so busted? That was before I had unlocked the tornado. Now I understand. Now I understand, because I can do this and knock him backwards. All right, let's go ahead. We can burn up that puddle. We can get a little bit more rage. Let's keep building up rage, because fire on lava just makes rage. Now, again, rage isn't that powerful in a one-on-one fight. He is going to be gaining 1 move speed, though, so we're not necessarily, like, out of the woods just yet. Okay, so we can apply this here. Now that we've used the wind, which is an elemental card, really nice touch here, adding the flame behind it so you know that your combo is triggered. We can go ahead and do that. We can get a little bit more armor, so now at least we'll survive 1 hit. Assuming he doesn't get more attack power. Okay, again, let's just push you back. Okay, let's go ahead and set up the lava here on you. Now, I asked you guys to remember the music from the opening menu, right? Do you notice a big difference between that music and this music that is going on right now? Because I certainly do. I don't think that the main menu music has any... Like, it is not the same... It is not... What am I trying to say here? Thematically, it does not fit this game at all. This is the music that I expected to hear. It's very strange why they chose the opening music that they did. I don't think it has... Like, it really doesn't have any business being in this game, I don't think. It just doesn't match the tone or theme of this game at all. It was just really odd. I hadn't even opened up the game really yet, and I was just very thrown off by the opening music. So let's go ahead and do this. This is going to give me an extra action point. Like, this is the music that should be playing during the opening cutscene. This is great. I just didn't understand. Okay, that fight went way better than the first time I fought it, now that I understand it. Nice, and we got some gold, and we got 2 card unlocks, so we have Flare. That's a lot of fire. So you see, a lot of these... So, like, we could do 2 damage to a random row. Like, that just doesn't seem very good. A lot of the cards that I'm seeing here are just apply elements. They're not... It's not like a traditional deck builder where you have a lot of cards that do different types of damage. Now, we do have another Inhale card. Oh, okay, so we're starting to get some cards that have exhaust. These are cards that I have not seen before. So when I did mention before that there weren't a lot of things that interact with Inhale and Exhale, I had not seen additional cards that expanded upon this. Create 3 elemental cards. They cost 0? That seems pretty powerful. I'm going to take that. That's what I want to see. Now, what is this? Rubble and Fire has 50% chance to also create a firebomb. That's pretty strong. Because Rubble and Fire... Okay, so... Let's talk about this real quick. I would talk about this at the end, but I just remembered to talk about it. I'm not sure... Now... In this reward menu, I can't open the tile effect. However, it's behind the reward window, whereas the deck menu is not. It's where you would expect it to be, on top. And we can also see our talents. Now, before, I can confirm, I have tried this before in other reward screens, and the tile effect wouldn't even pop up. Now, it's at least popping up. However, I can't see it, and I can't hover over any of the names, except for maybe Tornado and... Yeah, Boulder, because they're high enough. But if you have an example like this, let's say you're new to the game and you don't remember exactly what rubble comes from, which we know that it's from the earth element, which I can't hover over right here. But it's saying that earth and fire, right, which is typically 10 damage, is also going to spawn one of these fire bombs. But yeah, this menu just needs to pop forward. So again, initially it wasn't even popping up before, so this was one of my big gripes, because I've noticed in a lot of games recently, like we've been playing a lot of Bullet Heavens, right? And they all have the level up system where you level, you pop up 3 skills, but so many of them don't allow you to see the resources or skills or cards that you already have access to when you're picking rewards. Thankfully, it is doing this right here, so you can at least get some kind of idea what you have. But before it wasn't even doing that. So, and I don't remember exactly what this is, but we get both of these, so we can take these. But yeah, the purple thing, I have no idea. There's a green potion. So this one gives 5 max health, which you wouldn't know just by looking at it, but you figure it out later. 5 max HP feels pretty bad compared to... So you see we cleared this area, which is why we got those rewards. 5 max HP does feel pretty weak in the grand scheme of things. I'm going to go here and take on the captain, try and get some gold. I'm hoping that a merchant shows up at some point and we can spend some of our gold. So let's see here. Let's just focus on getting some lava down, and then we'll set up fire here for next turn, and maybe we get an earth card and can do some big damage to him. Yep, there we go. Avalanche. Put it right up here. No firebomb. That's fine. We'll go ahead. Let's see. How do I want to do this? This turns into... Well, this is 10 damage or a firebomb. But I don't want to bust that just yet. So let's go ahead and create a whirlwind here. And rubble and wind makes what? Apply earth to 4 adjacent tiles. Okay, so I don't really care about that. So let's just set up fire. Let's just set up some fire. And let's also set up some wind. We can actually push him back a tile. Deal 3 extra damage here. Okay, there's our inhale. Now we can exhale, create 3 elemental cards. So we get Avalanche, Whirlwind, and Upheaval, which is just... Oh, it's a little bit better Earth card. Okay. Let's see here. What do we want to do? Let's go ahead and... We can apply Earth here. This will start giving us some armor. This will deal 10 damage. Let's see. We can apply Earth here again. That's going to spread out a bunch of Earth. Now we can fireball this for 10 more damage. And then let's go ahead and whirlwind, push him back. He goes on the lava. He's going to burn to death. Now we just got this little guy to take care of, which is not a problem at all. Let's just flame breath him. Fireball. Yep, see, there's the relic popping up. Nice, claim our reward. Get some gold. And now we are at the point of no return. Let's try this out. So... we have reached 0, so that means the kingdom here arrives. We also reached 5 threat, which means that heroes are going to raid you. So I assume the way that this is indicating it looks like it should be a kingdom hero, right? Because that's kind of, it looks like a knight. But this says raid. So I'm assuming that they're 2 different fights. Now, I'm hoping I can win this fight. The last fight, the guy was it seemed like he was very overpowered. He had basically infinite range and was hitting me for 34 a turn. So you have 60 max HP, 8 attack. You can turn 4 tiles into holy tiles. Give 2 holy bind cards to the boss deck. Give +1/+1 to all allies per holy tile. Okay, so basically I'm going to have to be getting rid of holy tiles. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see here. So let's start here with some flare. We can then avalanche to deal 10 damage to her. And then let's set up some fire behind her in case she doesn't move. That way we either have earth next turn to deal 10 damage or we have fire next turn to deal 10 damage. One thing that I'm not a super big fan of is the heroes every turn do their little animation where they kind of disappear from their spot, pop up in the middle, do a very minimal animation, and then kind of go back. When there's no way to speed up the game, I really don't think that that's necessary. To me, it doesn't add anything to the game, especially when it's the same animation over and over and over again. I think you can kind of cut it and just kind of leave the animation, you know, down here as it were. Totally forgot that we have to do things. Okay, I'm acting very quickly. Man, Okay, it's happened every time I recorded this that I forget that there's a timer there. I'm gonna be honest, I don't understand why there is a timer. Have we inhaled? We're not red, so we have not inhaled. I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 damage to everybody, so that way hopefully if I build up let's see. I can also do this. This will give us some armor. I don't, in single player games like this, I don't know. I don't really like the timer. What are we getting hit by? Oh my god, there's so many rangers. Yeah, we might just be screwed. It's charging your hand, give a random enemy +3 max HP. Like, we're getting just like range 9? Like, dude. Well, I think we're just like dead. Yeah, see, like there's not enough time to think. Yeah, I'm dead. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened last time too. Is that, like, you just get overrun in these raid fights. Yeah, we unlocked new cards, new relics unlocked. Yeah, okay. So the raid fights, they feel really busted. I don't know. That's the 3rd raid fight I've gone and played and just gotten smoked. Let's go ahead. You know what? We're only 26 minutes in. Let me go ahead and get another run. We do have a talent point available. Maybe that helps out. Add an inflame card to the starter deck. Fire breath increased by 3. Start every combat. Yep, start every combat with 50 rage. Easy. Easy. Okay, let's go ahead and do the Huntress. Okay, let's go ahead and set down a Whirlwind. Get the momentum. Fireball. Avalanche. Fireball. Because how many is 9 tiles? I'm assuming that they go this way. If that's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So maybe it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know. Either way, that is that's a far distance, man. There we go. Deal 10 damage to every boulder tile. Or apply fire and wind. Let's take the fire and wind. Yeah. Okay, let's do... I'm a little worried about this one. This is the guy who, like, buffs himself up and does crazy amounts of damage eventually. Let's go ahead and set up a tornado here. Let's avalanche these. Fireball you. He likes to buff up units a lot and make them real big. So if you have range 9, you should be able to shoot me. So it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, okay. So basically from this tile, they can shoot us. That's pretty crazy. Just work on getting this guy down. Move everyone back a couple tiles. Get rid of the days. Let's see here. Well, we can do this. This will give us a free AP and also put Scorch up here. This will build up a bunch more rage. Technically 10 per card. Since each action point gives us 5, fire on lava gives us 5, so each one is technically 10. Okay, let's go ahead and push everyone back 2 spaces. Now, I'm going to do fire here on the tornado because I feel like our rage is just it feels underpowered. Now, again, maybe I don't have good enough cards to do good AoE, but this is only dealing 5 damage to everything. Like, these have 6 health. I can't even kill these weak archers. So I have to soften them up in another way. Yeah, this is what he was doing before, where he just has a quote-unquote 50% chance to do 30 damage. I can guarantee you it is higher than 50%. It is much higher than 50% chance. Okay, so we are in phase 3. Get rid of the cracked bone. Cracked bone reduces our max HP by 1, and that is permanent. Then let's go ahead and move him back a tile, since we got really nothing else we can do here. Although I guess I could have, yeah, I could have hit the rubble, pushed it under the lava. Oh, cool, we died. That was fun. Like, sure, man, sure. Let's give it another shot here. Oh, okay. Let's take on the captain. Momentum. Fireball. Let's fire breath ya. Let's go ahead and spread this out. Okay, let's fireball ya. Avalanche. Deal 10 damage. Fireball. Whirlwind this. Get lava underneath you. Or no. That explodes you. All right, momentum. We will deal big damage here. Go ahead and... No, we don't need to whirl... no, we can whirlwind this tile, which is going to put fire down here. We can fireball you. We can spread this over here. Lava, burn you end of turn. Nice. Let's grab a new card. Deal 2 damage. If on a lava tile, deal 8 damage. Ooh, or we could do Fireball Barrage. Scorch is pretty good, though. I think I'm going to take Scorch. That's some big damage. We need some big damage hitters. Okay. Mega's pretty good. Bunch of coins and a card. Now, how do we get rid of this? The sand? I hate sand. Earth or wind? Okay, that one's free. Let's go ahead and build up some armor. Deal you a little bit of damage. I mean, considering like how much damage we can potentially take, right? The last enemy was dealing us 30 damage, which, again, 50-50 it is not. But we're building 1 armor for this. That doesn't really feel like that is equal footing. Especially, you know, you get a couple enemies around you. They're doing like 5 to 10 damage. 1 armor does not feel like it's all that powerful. All right, let's build up some lava. Hit you for 8. Let's also build up some AP. Hit you again. Build up some rage. Still sitting on lava. We'll do that. Go ahead and fire breath ya. Get some more rage. We'll rage on ya. Now let's go ahead and... Oh yeah, that deals 5 damage to random spots. Okay. You just teleport. Deal 6 damage to all enemies, huh? That's what you want to be doing? Well, I want to be hitting you for 10. I want to hit you for a 10er. And then we'll fireball you for 10 more. Now you're dead. Okay, totally reasonable. Pick up the coins, pick up a card. Launch 1 fireball into each tile, create 3 fireball cards, or apply fire. Let's go ahead and get the flare. And then let's do Sister Layla. Okay, this is free. You already have rubble here, so let's go ahead and fireball here. Let's get this belt. I gotta keep her in check. So that being the case, let's try and get some damage going on her, or just get rid of her. Now, how do I get rid of Holy? Oh, anything gets rid of Holy. Okay, so I can just do stuff like that. Okay, nice. So let's go ahead and build up a lava tile, hit you for 8. You're still on lava, so let's burn you. Apply flare, that's going to deal 2 damage to everything. It's also going to give us an extra action point. We can do the same thing here again, which, or actually that gives us rage. So we can pop rage here. Let's get rid of a holy bind. Let's see, that gives an additional action point, but I don't need that. There we go. We can kill off this guy, deal 2 damage here, builds up more rage. And now at this point, I think I can just focus on her. Or just straight up kill her. I'll go with the straight up killing her plan. All right, here. So let's grab the gold. Unfortunately, we still don't have a merchant. Okay, we'll go to the random. A series of divine questions emerges as a challenge from the gods, promising riches in exchange for your answers. The very essence of the celestial quiz beckons, testing your wit and wisdom in the pursuit of untold wealth. Answer the question right and gain 300 gold. What is the AP cost of Meteor card? Well, that's clearly 3. God dang it. Unfortunate. Okay, firebomb damage increased by 1 per each lava tile, and we have some gold. Let's get both of those. Again, don't know what this is. Maybe it just has Merchant's Favor? I don't know. I still, in 3 playthroughs, I have not figured out what that purple is. Okay, let's do the Huntress here for another card. Let's apply some flare. Let's go ahead and boom, bomb ya. Can hit you for 2. Right, let's inhale. At this point, we'll build up some more rage. Rage. And then get rid of her. Okay, so far, everything seems very straightforward. We haven't, again, 5 HP doesn't seem like it's going to do anything to us. Or anything for us, really. Are the, I mean, it's another inhale card, though. I just don't think that this is even going to matter. I think I'm going to take way more damage than this 5 HP can actually heal. Let's take the upheaval. Alright, we got another raid fight. Because I can't go... Yeah, I can't go here. Okay, so we go to the raid. Oh boy, we got her again. Okay, so... Let's think about this for a little bit. Maybe I should be more focused here on actually taking out the Rangers than I was before. And then what does... That just spreads fire, right? So I got two lava paths. Let's build up some more rage. That's lava. Take you... Man, yeah, see... this timer here, cool, it makes the game harder. Man, I just don't, it's a single player game, man. Let me think. Okay, let's take you out. Let's just explode you, just get you out of here. I just don't want to have to deal with you. We'll set up that. That can help hold back some of the more melee units. Oh, fantastic. And now we spawn a whole bunch of more. Okay. I think what I'm going to do here... Gonna work on getting them. I just need to get them below 5 to take them out with a rage. This tornado should do nicely. Now, why didn't I build rage there? Maybe I did. I thought I was already at 95, though. There, that was good damage. So now I can actually hold on to my rage. How much move do you have? 1? Okay, I'm going to wait a little bit. See if more units spawn. What is your range? Range 10? Okay, I'm going to pop this. I got to get these guys off of me. Especially with that coming at me. Okay, let's take care of this unit here. Just get him out of my face. That way I don't have to deal with them. This gives me more action points, so then I can get Holy Bind out of here. Okay. If you say so. Let's build up a bunch of rage here. Okay, I gotta knock her out fast. Or else this is gonna be a nightmare to take these guys off the board. And she's hitting me for 17 damage. Oh my god. Okay, you're on lava. Let's get you out of here. Yeah, goodbye. Okay, let's get rid of one of these. Okay, hopefully nobody else spawns. Hopefully the boss is gone, because then I can just set up a whirlwind down here and hopefully just keep pushing them back. As long as I'm able to draw the cards I need. There we go. Push him back. Oh my god, I need one more. Oh no, I need one more. Don't have a lava tile down yet. This will turn it into lava. Oh, fantastic. Now they have move speed too all of a sudden. Okay, so that's the last time we're going to be going through this game. Played 4 different times. Same thing has happened every time. I like the game in terms of the mechanics with the tiles. I don't know. The raid fight, it seems so much more powerful than it should be. I don't know, every time I've played, the same thing happens where difficulty just spikes up. And it doesn't feel like I have the tools to do good damage. Now, maybe that just comes from the fact that I haven't unlocked the proper cards. Maybe they're intending for you to, like in typical roguelike fashion, just beat your head against the wall and go through and unlock new meta progression. But I don't know. After 4 different bosses, I should have figured something out by now. But the damage just comes in so heavily handed compared to what you can actually output. So if enemies do actually get to you, you're kind of just screwed and you die pretty quickly. So again, while I like the mechanics, they do feel like the game feels right now like it might, the bosses at least are a smidge too difficult. I think that the regular fights are very straightforward and easy. Right? We kind of smoked through those, but as soon as we got to the raid fight, I don't know, something's going up, and they just, like, the fact that she has 10 range and can just smack us for 17 a turn. And if we want to gain armor, we can gain a piddly 1 armor a turn. Now, obviously, we can build up multiple boulders, but then we aren't doing damage. If we aren't doing damage, then she's continuing to build up all her units. And I don't know, that feels like a losing battle. I don't know, maybe I'm not just smart enough for what's going on here, but I don't know. I feel like after the 4th time, I understood what was going on, but something wasn't going right. There is a merchant that you can buy stuff from. Unfortunately, it seems like the random events are not very consistent. So in the very first run I did, I actually had no events pop up. It was all just hero fight. So I didn't know like that I could use gold for anything. I had no idea about the max health potions. I had no idea about any of that. I only had the hero fights. And so then I did my second run, and I did see a merchant. I did see the random event. There's both random event and mystery event, which to me feels a little redundant, but I'm assuming that a mystery event can also be a fight of some kind. So that's probably where they're differentiating it. I just feel like it's kind of 2 sides of the same coin. But there only being 5 fights until you have what seems to me like 2 boss fights in a row, I don't think is enough time. Maybe it's just not enough time to build your power level up to a boss fight. Maybe that's what it is, right? Because in typical deck builder fashion, what is it? It's probably like 10. It's probably double that. It's probably like 10 fights, or maybe even, I mean, if you look at like Rogue Genesia, which we've been playing a little bit on the channel, that in regular mode has 15 fights before you fight a boss. I haven't counted. I'm guessing Slay the Spire and games like Vault of the Void, Indy's Lies, I'm guessing those are all around the 10 mark before you fight the boss. So maybe this is just too few, because if you were to see a merchant, are you going to have done enough fights in order to be able to spend gold? I can tell you right now from one of the runs that I did before, or was it? I'm going to be honest, I've recorded 4 different runs now this afternoon, so they're kind of blending together. But I didn't have enough gold to spend in at least one of the runs I did not have enough gold to spend in the merchant. Just didn't build up enough. Now, I could have saved it to the 4th pick, but the fact that it takes up a spot on your, out of the 5 spaces you can go before you take a boss, it takes 1. I mean, it just takes so many of your movement resources, I think. So that probably needs to be spread out a little bit. I think, 5 fights is probably too few to build up before you fight a boss. I would have liked to find a relic of some kind before actually going into a fight to make, either all my damage do more, or like we had before, how the rubble and fire damage had a chance of making a rock bomb. But it just didn't feel like there was enough to actually push through the game and to get me prepared for that first boss. Yeah, I've gone off about that. So again, just a weird choice here in the music at the beginning. I don't think this is your first impression for people playing the game. I don't think this music matches at all, which is, it's a very minor critique, right? Overall, it's not a big deal to the gameplay aspect at all. It was just like kind of a weird thing I noticed when I first jumped in. So again, I think this game's strong point is the whole tile system. The deck building aspect, I think, could use a little bit little bit more of a lift, a little bit more, a bigger push towards that. I didn't see any kind of upgrade system for cards. It was good enough. It was serviceable, and it made sure to play with the tile system. I don't know if the tile system itself is necessarily powerful enough. It's very strong. Well, let me put it like this. The tile system, I think, is very strong for fighting waves of enemies. I don't know that it necessarily feels strong enough to me for bosses. And I think that is the downside, because every fight that we just got smashed in was specifically a high health boss. We got smashed by the knights at the end for the most part. I don't know. I didn't notice why he got an extra move speed, because I know I checked and it said he only had 1 move speed, and then all of a sudden he had 2. So maybe something might have happened there that I'm not remembering, or that I didn't catch in the moment. I'm sure something did happen that I just am not remembering. Because I know that happens where there were cards that the boss was using at one point that was giving characters more move speed. And it's basically a rage mechanic, right? To make it so that the fights don't go that long. But I don't know. I felt like, again, I apologize for going on, but I just felt like the damage output wasn't high enough for us to kind of force through a boss fight. The rage mechanic felt a little bit, it felt underwhelming, right? Especially, there were certain fights there where we were going against, like, I don't know what they were called, but like the peasant characters, right? They had 4 HP. That was fine, because it just was a way to clear the board. But even I'm going to call it like the second, there's kind of like 3 tiers of enemies that I remember seeing, right? There's the peasant, there's the archer, which is kind of tier 2, and then there's the knights, which are kind of the tier 3 enemies. The archers start at 6 HP, so you kind of have to weaken them up, soften them up a little bit for rage to actually work on them. And the champions, you kind of need 2 rages, or you obviously need more damage on them before you can actually deal with them with rage. But when you start, if you don't have that rage talent that gives you 50 free rage, you need to spend 20 rage, or you need to gather 20 rage. Sorry, you need to spend 20 action points to get 100 rage. Well, that's 9 turns of action points. Or you can use fire on lava to speed it up. But then you also have the phase system, which also doing 1 extra damage or 2 extra damage for being so low in HP when your enemies are hitting you for 16, or in the bard's case, hitting you for like 30 damage. I don't know. Some of the numbers don't seem like they're lining up to be kind of even slightly in your favor. It does feel like it's very heavily tuned to make the enemies deal way more damage than you. Maybe I'm crazy on that point, but guys, let me know what you thought down below in the comment section. I think this one will be a fun one to play once it bakes a little bit more. I do think that it needs a little bit more testing. You got to get some more people in here to give their thoughts and opinions. Like I said, I think the tile system is really cool. It's just the numbers. I think the numbers are a little bit too skewed. But if you guys had fun, and you appreciate the fact that I gave this 4 different tries, and recorded this multiple different times, would you kindly smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already? Show that support and make me feel better about recording this several different times. But now I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my Saturday. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are watching. I've been Ganyonz. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see y'all next time.